Hi folks, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm. Alrighty, so happy Wednesday everybody. I hope all of you have had a good week so far. I have had a great week. I am off today, so I'm very happy about that. Alrighty, so today marks 1 week since I got my new device, and yeah, so I'm gonna do the same thing I've done with all my other devices. I will give you weekly updates on how well the device is working, and then then when I hit 1 month, I will give you my monthly you know insight to it and everything, and then we do it monthly until 1 year passes, which is going to be the 31st of December. So for the entire year, I am going to be giving you guys um, updates on performance and am I having issues with it and all that type of stuff. So one of the biggest things I was really concerned about when I was reading about Kobos was their issues they have with like freezing or having to reboot them and things like that. And but when I read that they were going to integrate AI into all of their Kindles, I was like, heck with it, just bite the bullet and get a Kobo because I'm not a fan of AI in my stuff. I've got AI in my laptop right over here. I'm not a fan of it. It's in my Word. My the one where you edit, where you edit. And it's not even that good. If you try to voice dictate, um, it's like really slow, and I'm just really not a fan of it and everything. That's probably why I don't really use my laptop as much as I thought I was going to because of the AI thing. But yeah, but books don't write themselves. Anyways, I'm currently reading the Crocodile on the Sandbank by Elizabeth Peters. This is the first book in the Amelia Peabody series, and yeah. All right. So first of all, I want to show you. I decorated it. Um, when I saw they had cat stickers among them, I was like, yay! And then even my little ghosty has a cat on top, so I'm very happy with it. Anyways, so 1 week into it, so I got the yearly VIP where I can get points, and I also have Kobo Plus, so I'm going to include a review of or my impressions of Kobo Plus as well. So here goes. So I got this device because I really did not want a color e-reader anymore. I have one, not impressed by it at all. I was like, no. That's why I use my Kindle black and white, my Kindle paper white, a lot more than my color soft because I'm sorry, the color just does not impress me. It might wow other people, but for me, I'm a simple person and black and white has always worked for me. So currently my Kobo is sleeping, so it'll show you like whatever book you're on, which is typical with like the color soft, it'll show you what book you're on. However, the difference between the Kobo and the Kindle is that when you power off the device, it will also show you what book you're currently reading, your percentage, and if it's overdrive, it'll tell you how many days you still have left. I do believe the number changes, so even though it's off, there is something still going on in the system. My brother told me that even if you have like your devices off, there's still something going on in there, and that's why you lose power. So one of the huge things I love about my Kobo, like I love about my Nook, is the power button is not down here. A lot of people that switch over to Kobo from Kindle cites this as one of the huge reasons. Um, I'm not actually the huge reason, the next to huge reason why they switched. The power button is behind here, so we're just going to turn it on real quickly. And now we're at the screen. I got this on the lowest setting possible so you guys can still see it. So the top four here are the books the top four that I opened. And down here let's see here. Let me get my glasses on because my eyesight sucks. Um, Books I'm reading and my books. Um, so there's a website called BookBub, and they will give you like discount on books from um I'll say things like Barnes and Noble, Kobo, Kindle, and I had selected Kobo. Like before, I just had it Kindle. Then I switched. Then I added Kobo, and then I noticed that the Amazon I kept on just getting constantly Amazon, and then I went into the system and I noticed that when I took off the Amazon and just kept the Kobo, I got deals just solely for Kobo. So I got The Game is Afoot. I don't remember the title, the author's name. The titles were here. The author's name. And basically is about a woman of color who lives in an all-white community, which is intriguing. And someone dies in the soccer field. So I'm like, I'm into that. I love the idea of like, oh god, I sound so morbid. I like people dying on the soccer field in books. Oh man. But it's the idea that she's a woman of color, she lives in an all-white community, and someone dies, which tells you that even in the most picturesque and beautiful places, people can die. And so it was $1.99. I had to pick it up. I had to get it. I had to add it to my collection. I do try not to like get a bunch of books, but it intrigued me, so I decided to do that. All right. So I'm gonna put my glasses back on because once, as I said, I'm as blind as a bat apparently. All right. So right down here is books you can books to borrow from your public library. What I do is I go on my Libby app and I look at whatever book that I want to borrow, and if it says borrow, it means that I can get it I can get it on here. So what I do is I go on here, I type the title of the book, it will automatically pop up borrow. I borrow it, and it just downloads right onto the device, which is one of the huge reasons that I decided to get the Kobo, because you can borrow books from the library. Over here is your hold, so you just tap it, and wow, okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. It said available in a week, but now it moved up to 2 weeks. I don't really care. It'll definitely give me more time to read the 2 books, because I currently have like 5 books, which is the maximum that you can borrow from Libby. So having these 2 still on 2 weeks is great, because I can get 2 books read, and I will have room for the 2 books that will pop up. Then we have my books. Now I went and I separated them into collections. So if I just put books, it will show me all the books that are currently on my Kobo. And so hold on. Why is it saying remove? Hold on a second. Remove. I just hope that actually gets rid of it. Alright. So hopefully that means it'll go away. So yeah. So Such Sharp Teeth went back to the library, so I'm very happy about that. One of the things I also like about borrowing books from Overdrive is that you don't have to worry about having late fees, because it vanishes. So yeah, so I have all of these books, but then if I go into collections, I have like TBR. I have 8 books on my TBR, which in the world of books, that is very good. Then I have actually read 13 books. Actually read 14 books, but one of them went back to the library. And then books I'm reading is 11. So if I just do that, then it will show like percentages. If it's like an overdrive, it'll pop up overdrive. If it is a Kobo Plus, it will just show Kobo Plus. If I own it, it'll just say like, uploaded or whatever. Alright, so on the overdrive, it'll tell you how many days you have left on it. I don't know how you can renew the book from overdrive. I guess you have to let it go back and then you can like renew it or something like that. I don't know. Alright. So, Kobo Plus. Kobo Plus is Kobo's version of Kindle Unlimited. Unlike Kindle Unlimited, which only allows you to check out 20 books, according to a lot of people, you can borrow an unlimited amount of books, which is great because if you're splurging an entire series, you can do that without having to worry about being told, hey, you can't borrow any more, we can't lend you any more books. So I like the fact is that people are saying that it's unlimited. So for basically, I spend $8.50 a month for Kobo Plus, and because I have unlimited number of books that I can borrow, that's great because I think what Kobo realizes that if you're binging an entire series, there's a good chance they're going to get your money, and that's always good for them. Kindle Unlimited, to me, it's like, it's a good service and everything, but Kobo Plus seems to have the books I really, really am interested in actually reading. And that's what I like. I like to know that books that I'm really super psyched about is on Kobo Plus. Now, everyone has different tastes in books, and not everybody's going to find what they want. I think this is one of the things that people that are really hyped up about their Kindles and why they will never switch over to anything else, even to Barnes & Noble, is they cannot imagine not having access to like millions and millions and millions of books. I don't want access to millions and millions and millions of books. I just want access to books that I really want to read. Now, if it's not on Kobo, it's most likely going to be on Barnes & Noble, and I'll just get the book from them. It's not a big deal if I can't get every single book on Kobo. I'll just go on to Barnes & Noble and I will just get the books from them. I must warn people, however, that a lot of the audiobooks are expensive, and I really happen to like the idea that people realize that audiobooks are not cheap. Because back when I was younger, and this is like when audiobooks were like coming out, they were like on like tape once upon a time. They were like $45, $50 because they were very expensive to produce. They're still extremely expensive to produce. So if you see an audiobook that's like $11.99, that is Amazon selling it at a loss. It's like if I go on Kobo and I type in the title of an audiobook and it says $45, but you go on Amazon and it's like either a credit or it's like $11.99, you're like, oh wow, that looks like a deal. That's a loss. That is not them making a profit off that audiobook. That is them losing money on that audiobook. But if you go on wherever, whatever website that offers audiobooks and they sell it for $45 or $50, that is the price that the publishing house says they have to charge for that particular product. So it is not the service that's trying to take you for your money. It is the publishing house that says, yep, this is how much you have to spend. But I think that I think the price of audiobooks should be authentic and true to what the publishing company says, or publishing house says it should be, because I think if people realized how truly expensive audiobooks actually were, they would not get them. I think the only reason that audiobooks are so prevalent is because they're so dirt cheap, and people, honestly, if they had to pay the prices back in like the early 2000s, they would not be they would not be getting audiobooks. They would be getting the physical edition of the book. But I think we've made them so cheap that people expect them to be that way. And anytime a book is, or sorry, anytime an audiobook is more expensive than what they're used to, they're like, no, I don't want to deal with that company. I'm going to go where I can get it cheaper. And it's a shame because you're not really, you're just, it's just not, I just don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it. Anyways, so, yeah, so for Kobo Plus, I absolutely love the service. And as I said, if I can't find it on Kobo, I'll just go to Barnes & Noble and see if they have it. And more often than not, they will have it because Barnes & Noble is a major book-selling company, book-selling business, and they will most likely have it. And I'll just pay for it and just, read it on my Nook and everything. So it's not a deal breaker at all if it's not on Kobo or Kobo Plus. I'll be just like, yeah, I'm just going to get it from Barnes & Noble. The biggest draw of this device is its ability for me to check books out directly from Overdrive. I don't have to go through Kindle. Kindle doesn't have to get my information. None of that type of stuff. And I told my brother that this year I'm going to spend as little as possible on ebooks. So like he's seeing I'm reading the books I already acquired. And and he thinks that's smart. He's like, wow, that's real smart to do. You're reading the books you already have acquired. You're not spending money that you don't have, and you're definitely checking out a lot of you're definitely checking out books from the library, which is free because his personal belief is like, I'm paying taxes, state taxes, and he definitely believes in supporting the public library, which is always good because the library was very instrumental in our survival down here in Kentucky. But anyways, so I love it. I love Kobo Plus. I'm willing to pay the $8.50. That's after tax. For it, I can read manga on here. I'm not really interested in color. I don't want the big Kobo Libra color. I've been hearing that those glitch after a while, which is something I'm just not for. I will tell people, however, about the battery is, even though my battery did last me a lot longer than it does on the Nook, this is because I was reading my library books. I wanted to get them returned so that when my books that I had requested were available, there'd be a slot they could slide into. And yeah, I mean, it's really a great device. I'm really enjoying it. I've not yet listened to audiobooks on here, mainly because I'm not interested in audiobooks. That was why, like, when I set up my Kobo Plus, I did not include audiobooks because I'm just not going to use them. I'm not going to listen to audiobooks at all. I mean, I have audiobooks on my Kindle that I've had for years, and I still have not listened to them, except for that one, and I'm real slow on that one. Okay, so the huge difference between the Kindle and the Kobo. The Kindle is very hard for me to annotate. I have a hard time annotating on my Kindle. My Kobo is super responsive when it comes to annotating. I annotated a couple chapters of The Blade itself, and I will tell you that was very easy for me to annotate. Very easy. I also did it for Friday the Rabbi Slept Late. Very easy. So let's just pick one. So this is a library book that I've got right now. It's in the Company of Witches. I have it on dark mode Dark mode is much easier for my eyes. It doesn't really matter. I have dark mode on all the time. I like the little thing here because it looks like your dog earring the thing. So down here is your progress bar. This will tell you like where you are in, like how far you are in the book. And up here is how many pages are in the book. Now I know for a fact that it's double. So a lot of people complain that with the Kobo they can't follow the book. Like, okay, so on the Kindle it shows accurately like where you are in a physical book, which is not exactly 100% true. And how I know that is I have had the physical edition of a book that I had gotten on Kindle, and I was at least like one page behind the book. So that's not true. That's not true. You're not, where you are on the Kindle is not where you are in the book. So as I said, you can be on, say, page 52, but on the Kindle, but actually you're on page like 50, like, I don't know, 54 or 55. That was annoying. That was annoying to look at and go, no, I'm not on the same page. I'm not on the same page. This one you definitely know you're not on the same page. They do not lie to you that you're not going to be on the same page as in the book. You're not. And I'm fine with that. After knowing that basically it's a liar, I'm happy that Kobo's truthful when it comes to, yeah, you're not really on the same page. So In the Company of Witches is the first book in this series that I'm reading. I'm going to try to check out every book in this series because I really am enjoying this book a lot. It's like 42 or 43 chapters, which is why I'm going to definitely be reading a lot on my Kobo for this book, because I definitely want to get it done so that either Jack or Jill or the other one will still slide in. So one of their fellow witches or fellow women end up dead. And yeah, it's an interesting book. I love cozy mysteries. Now, unlike the Kindle, when you are done with the book, it will, the little gray box will go like, rate it. You'll get 5 stars. But unlike the app, you do have the option of leaving a review. You don't have to leave a review if you don't want to, just like with the Kindle. Unlike with the Kindle, your book will not pop up on Goodreads unless you go into Goodreads and you add the book yourself. So I added The Company of Witches to my Goodreads because my goal is to read 12 books this year. I am up to 6 books now. So yeah. Another thing, I think I mentioned this, but if I haven't, then I'm not repeating myself. I'm happy about that. I joined Kobo VIP, and what that is that you earn points and you can get free books, which is good. And it will if you go on their website, it will show you how many points you have. So yeah. So I don't really know if I earned any points from buying this book. I don't really care. But it's a nice little service. It's $10 a year, and as I said, you can get free books and all that type of stuff. Alrighty, so all in all, my first week with the Kobo has been really great. I will, however, say one thing. I am still having trouble learning how to transfer books over. When I was trying to get the Crocodile on the Sandbank, I was having a hard time, and everything. So what I am actually going to do is, when Jack and Jill and the other one is available, I'm just going to let it naturally download onto. And they also have a sync button I can press. So I'm going to see if that also works as well. But for me, it's much easier for me just go on the Libby app, see if the book is there, and if it's not there, I'm just going to not request it. What I will actually do is write down the title of it, and then every week I will check to see if it's available, and if it does come up as borrowed, I go onto my Kobo, borrow it, and then I can read it. So, yeah. But other than me having a little bit of trouble actually getting the library book, I am happy with the Kobo. But as I said, I think it's just that I would have to sync it and all that and everything. So, anyways, I am going to end it there, and I will see you guys around.